Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you've been playing around with generative AI, tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, you've probably hit this point.
Oh, yeah, or you've got this big idea, right? Maybe a really specific mobile app or a whole marketing campaign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you give the AI this one-liner describing it, and the result is, well, it's okay. But it's just never quite there.
It feels like it stops short, like it gets
Yeah.
the basics, but misses the depth, the real complexity you need.
That feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to turn that one idea into a detailed plan, or break down something huge into steps you can actually follow.
It's a common hurdle, particularly if you're kind of new to prompt engineering itself. You want that deep dive, but getting the AI to go there with you is tricky.
Right. Just typing follow-up after follow-up, trying to nudge it along. It feels inefficient.
Totally. And that inefficiency is what we're tackling today. We're going deep on prompt engineering patterns.
Patterns. Okay, so this isn't just about finding the magic word.
Not quite. It's more about structured ways to talk to the AI. Think of them like frameworks or recipes you can follow.
Frameworks. Okay, like giving the AI a better blueprint so it becomes more of a partner.
Precisely. It shifts it from just spitting text back at you to actually collaborating on a task. We're essentially managing the conversation better.
Makes sense. So what do we got lined up?
We've picked 3 really powerful ones, especially useful if you're learning how to get more out of these tools. There's the outline expansion pattern,
Okay.
the flipped interaction pattern,
Intriguing name.
and the receipt pattern.
Hmm.
Each one tackles a slightly different challenge in getting from that initial idea to a really solid, actionable output.
All right, let's dive in. Where do we start?
Okay.
The outline expansion one. That sounds pretty fundamental.
Yeah, let's kick off there. The outline expansion pattern, or OEP, is really designed for tackling complexity by breaking it down. Incrementally, so not trying to get everything at once. Exactly. It's perfect when you have that main topic, that one-line thought, but you need to flesh it out section by section, really build the detail layer by layer.
How does it work then? Is there like a template?
There is, and it's built around 4 key parts. First, you define the AI's role. You tell it exactly what its job is.
So something like act as an outline enhancer.
Perfect. Or serve as an outline enhancer and iterative project manager. Be explicit about its function.
Got it. What's next?
Second is the initial task. You tell it, okay, based on my input, generate a comprehensive initial outline.
So you get the big picture first, the main sections.
Yep, the overall structure.
Mm.
But then comes the crucial part, the third element, the iterative loop.
This is the incremental bit you mentioned.
This is it. You instruct the AI to wait for your command. You say, when I pick a section from this outline, your job is to expand just that section into a new, more detailed outline.
Oh, I see. So you're focusing its attention. Why is that better than just asking for one massive detailed outline right from the start?
Well, think about it. If you ask for everything at once, you often get something wide, but shallow, generic.
Right. It tries to cover too much ground and doesn't go deep anywhere.
Exactly. This way, you control the focus. You say, okay, let's zoom in on this part now. It creates this feedback loop where you guide the development section by section.
Like refining a sketch before you start adding the paint.
Precisely. You ensure each part gets the attention it needs before you move on. And the fourth element really seals this loop,
Which is,
the prompt for input. You tell the AI, after each expansion, specifically ask me which part I want you to elaborate on next.
so it's constantly asking for direction.
Yeah,
It becomes much more interactive.
it does. It turns the AI into an active collaborator, not just a passive generator. It makes tackling a really big topic, maybe something you're learning, feel much more manageable. You break it down into smaller, linked tasks.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense for expanding outwards when you sort of know the main subject. But what about when you're really lost? Like you don't even know what the sections should be or what questions to ask.
Well, that's the perfect setup for our second pattern, the flipped interaction pattern.
Flipped interaction. Okay, how does this one work? It sounds like it turns things upside down.
It kind of does. It addresses that I don't know what I don't know problem head on. Instead of you feeding the AI all the details,
The AI asks you the questions.
bingo. It takes on the role of the interviewer, the thought partner, figuring out what information is needed.
Okay, that's genuinely useful. How do you set that up? What's the template?
It's pretty straightforward. You start with your goal. I want to achieve X, whatever X is. To do this effectively, please ask me questions.
Simple enough. But how does it know when to stop asking?
Good point. You define the steps and the stopping condition. You might say, keep asking me questions until condition Y is met.
Condition Y being? Like what?
Could be anything specific to your goal, like until we have fully defined all the user requirements for this app, or until we've identified the target audience and key marketing channels.
Got it. And then you mentioned verification.
Yeah, and structure. You tell it, let's do this methodically. Ask me questions one at a time and wait for my response before asking the next.
One at a time. Why is that important? Seems like it might slow things down.
It might seem slower, but it forces careful consideration if the AI just dumps 20 questions on you.
You get overwhelmed or give shallow answers.
Exactly. One at a time makes it feel more like a guided conversation, like coaching, that lets you really think through each point before moving on.
Makes sense. I saw our sources mentioned different ways to frame this, like guided inquiry or a coaching approach.
That's right. Depending on your need, you can frame it differently. Interview me about X for uncovering details, or act as my mentor and ask questions to refine Y for strategy.
Or even, let's brainstorm creatively. You ask the questions, I'll provide details. Let's see where it goes for exploring something totally new.
Those framings really help set the tone, and the examples really bring it to life. Think about coding an app. Your goal is a user-friendly app. You tell the AI, ask me questions until we've nailed down all the functional requirements and UI elements.
And you'd use that structured approach.
Definitely. You'd say, focus on the UI questions first. Once we're done with that, then we'll tackle the back-end functions one by one.
So you're imposing an order that makes sense for development, ensuring the user experience comes first.
Precisely. You see the same logic in, say, a marketing launch for an eco-friendly product.
Right. You tell it to keep asking until, what? Target audience, channels, KPIs are defined.
Exactly. And you might structure it. First, let's clarify the audience, then the channels, then the creative concepts. It builds the strategy logically.
So flipped interaction is great when you need the AI to help you define the problem space itself.
It's incredibly powerful for that, yeah. Turns the AI into a Socratic partner.
Okay, we've covered expanding known territory and exploring unknown territory. What's the third pattern? The receipt pattern.
The receipt pattern. This one's for a different scenario again. It's ideal when you think you know the steps. You have a plan, A, B, C.
But you're not totally sure if it's right or complete.
Exactly. You need validation. You need someone or something to check your work, spot the gaps, maybe even make it better. You're essentially handing the AI your receipt of steps and asking for an audit.
Like a consultant reviewing your plan. So how does the template work here? What do you ask the AI to do?
You give it your list of steps, and you ask for about 5 key things in return. First, validate. Are these steps correct? Are they in the right order?
Okay, basic sanity check.
Second, and this is crucial, identify missing steps. What have I overlooked? That's the gap analysis.
Super important. What else?
Third, provide detailed instructions or resources for each step it confirms or adds. Turn the validated plan into something actionable.
Like a proper checklist with guidance.
Precisely. Then fourth, which is often really valuable but maybe optional, is optimization.
Asking it to make the process better.
Yeah. Can we streamline this? Are there unnecessary steps? Any shortcuts? Better tools I could use?
That's really leveraging its knowledge base. Now, why go through the trouble of giving it your steps first? Wouldn't it be faster to just ask, what are the steps to buy a house, for example?
You could, but you risk what's called anchoring. The AI will just give you its standard generic answer.
But if I give it my plan first...
You force it to engage critically with your thinking. You're saying, here's my hypothesis, challenge it, improve it. It leads to a much more personalized and robust outcome.
Got it. So for buying a house, I might get mortgage pre-approval, find a house, make an offer.
Right. And using the receipt pattern, the AI would say, okay, those are core steps, but you're missing the home inspection, the appraisal, maybe negotiating closing costs, understanding escrow.
And it would provide details on each of those missing pieces.
Exactly. Or think about promoting a business on Instagram. You need a profile, posts, maybe ads.
Pretty standard stuff.
But the receipt pattern pushes the AI to add the specifics you might miss. Okay, but what's your hashtag strategy? Have you considered Reels? What about a content calendar? Here are some tools to schedule posts. It fills in those crucial how-to details and optimizations.
So it really elevates your initial understanding. It's true collaboration.
It is. You bring the initial context and direction, and the AI brings its vast knowledge base to refine, validate, and enhance it.
Okay, this is really clarifying. We've got outline expansion for iterative detail, flipped interaction for when the AI needs to lead the discovery, and receipt pattern for validating and optimizing your own plan.
Those are the three core patterns we wanted to unpack today.
So wrapping this up a bit, for you, the listener, why are these patterns so important? It seems like it boils down to tackling complexity, right?
Absolutely. They provide structure, they allow for focused work instead of getting overwhelmed, and they genuinely foster a better collaboration with the AI.
Turning it from just a tool into more of a strategic partner?
Yes, but, and this is the crucial but, we always have to include a partner that can still make mistakes.
The disclaimer, right.
We have to stress this. LLMs, ChatGPT, Gemini, they can and do produce incorrect or inaccurate information. These patterns help structure the conversation. They don't guarantee factual accuracy.
So even with a great pattern, you still absolutely need to apply your own critical thinking. Double-check the outputs.
Always, always double check before you rely on it for anything important. The patterns improve the process, not the inherent reliability of the underlying model.
That's a critical point. So the takeaway is move beyond just simple prompts. Start experimenting with these structured approaches, OEP, FIP, RP, to really guide the AI and get much better, more useful results.
It really does make a difference. Give them a try.
Okay, we've recapped the patterns. They're tools to make that AI assistant a genuine partner. But here's something to think about as we close. If using these patterns, like outline expansion or flipped interaction, forces you to focus the AI and yourself on one specific task or question at a time, how does that structured approach change the way you think about the problem before you even start typing?
Ooh, that's interesting. You're saying the act of choosing a pattern disciplines your own thinking process.
Maybe. Does needing to structure the conversation for the AI inadvertently force you to structure your own thoughts more clearly beforehand?
I think it absolutely can. If you know you're going to use, say, the outline expansion pattern, you implicitly start thinking hierarchically. What's the main topic? What are the key subpoints?
You start building the map in your head first.
Right. Or with flipped interaction, you have to clearly define your end goal for the AI to even start asking questions. That initial goal setting becomes sharper.
So the structure isn't just for the AI, it's a cognitive tool for the user too. It makes you a better planner.
Potentially, yes. It encourages a more methodical approach to problem solving overall. That's a fascinating side effect to consider.
Something to mull over, definitely. Well, that's our deep dive for today. We hope exploring these patterns gives you some new ways to work with AI.
Go experiment, see what works for you, and let us know what you discover.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.